Hi guys, this is Julie and this is a video blog for Let the Words Flow. I wanted to talk today about world building and specifically about a technique that you can use to help you see your fantasy world, your fictional world in a concrete way, and it's by using maps. I think most of us as readers love to open up a book and find a map inside. I know we probably all felt that way when we first opened up Tolkien's novels and found Middle Earth. Okay, here's Middle Earth. I found this map on the internet, and I thought you guys would right away get that feeling that you get when you see the map and know that this is your little glimpse into a world that the book's going to take you. Here's another one. This is Neverland. If you read Peter Pan as a child, I can imagine that you probably felt the way I felt when I read Peter Pan with my son. The excitement of seeing the map of their world and knowing exactly where everything is and how far it is to travel, things like that. And I wanted to talk about how a writer can use a map. I mean, I think we generally think of them as a tool for the reader, but they're great when you flip it around and imagine as a writer the tool that making a map can be for you, because it helps you put yourself in the terrain of your characters. You may ask yourself, like, where do these two major rivers intersect? And what happens? Like, what is at the point where these two rivers converge? Is it a delta? Is it really rich farmland, or is it a swamp? If the characters are trying to get around the river, what happens to them when they reach the swamp? Like, there are ways that you could turn your terrain into a character, and we all know that the best settings are characters in the books themselves. So it made me think also of stories that take place only indoors. So for those of you who appreciate steampunk, here is a blueprint I found online, and this is the submarine Nautilus. And this gives you an idea of like how you can get an idea of scale when you're using an indoor setting. Compare it to this one. Okay, I know that all of you have read this book, and you'll recognize right away. This is Anne Frank's Annex. And I know that when you read this book, when you read the book about Anne Frank, you keep turning back to this map, or this layout, I should say, or blueprint, because you want to understand like the claustrophobia that was felt by the different characters in the story. A couple more lands, fantasy lands that I've picked up maps from the internet. Here is Narnia. And additionally, here is the land of Oz. So those are two maps that we would know. Oh, and those of you who follow me on Twitter would know that recently, since the first of the year, I, with my family, watched the entire 6 seasons of Lost. And I found there's a lot of great fan sites online about Lost, about the series Lost. And somebody went to the trouble of creating a Lost Island map. So here's the map of the island that the characters live in on Lost. And it's great because if you look at this island, I mean, it is just an island, but you can see that the characters deal with a lot of obstacles that are built into the terrain in which they live. There's mountains. There are places that are only accessible by going through water. There are off-island islands, so they deal with a lot of adversity that is just built into the story because of the terrain. And last but not least, I know a lot of fans of Let the Words Flow are fans of the Star Wars series. So I save this one, save the best for last. This is the Millennium Falcon. Here's this great floor plan, blueprint, or however you want to look at it. It's a layout of the interior of the Millennium Falcon. And I love this because not only does it help you imagine what it would be like to be in the Millennium Falcon, but you can see down the bottom there to the left, it was hand initialed the the changes to the drawings were approved by Han Solo. So those of you who love Star Wars like I do should appreciate that. So that's my advice for today and my challenge to you. Sit down and draw a map. Do it sooner rather than later. You might have ideas of what the place looks like, but knowing the layout and knowing like how far one place is from another, how long will it take the characters to travel from point A to point B in your world, those things can be really invaluable and can really impact your story. And if you know the lay of the land, as they say, before you sit down and get that first draft done, it might have a huge impact on the way your story goes. So if you're going to do an interior scene, if you're writing about people who are stuck indoors and it's very claustrophobic, you might want to go out and get graph paper. It might help you with drawing like a floor plan to have nice straight edges that you can work with. If you are writing about a fantastical land that is of your own imagining, you may want to just get a pad of drawing paper and a box of colored pencils and go to it. Don't worry about the quality of your drawing. Don't worry about whether this drawing that you're working on is going to actually wind up in the book. Although I have to say, you know, sometimes it's the most amateurish and the most like hand-done maps that are the most appealing when you're trying to imagine a world. So you never know what might happen to that map you're drawing. But good luck and keep writing. Thanks.